the curative approach that we take is that we must consider the whole person. We treat the patient individually, and only these therapeutic approaches that support the vital force in the body. That is what can bring you back to balance, and that is what can lead you to a cure of cancer. Now, here what homeopaths are saying is that we are very, as conscious beings, that we have a vital energy. And what is this vital energy? It is an energy that inhibits our physical form until death. That is the closest way. That at death, this suddenly, the vital force leaves you when you die, because your organs remain. The organs remain, but something leaves the body, and then these stop operating. So this is the vital force which we try to bring. And of course, the vital force is invisible. So how does one treat an invisible thing? You can't see it. The vital force, therefore, we treat it through the signs and symptoms which the patient shows. There are certain signs and symptoms. And with these signs and symptoms, we will use to treat the patient and help them to bring them back to a balance. Now let me quickly move on to susceptibility and curability. Susceptibility is the chances of you getting it. How susceptible are you to get cancer? Certain people are more susceptible than others. And the rates of the susceptibility is both hereditary and acquired. There are hereditary factors. There are some families which have cancer coming through and through. So there are certain hereditary factors which can create a predisposition. And then there are other acquired factors like the environmental factors, toxins and various stuff that also. And homeopathy tries to understand this sometimes in taking a miasmatic approach, that is the genetic predispositions. And there are four sort of miasms which I would just mention without trying to confuse the names. One miasm is called Sora, and this is generally we find people who have this soric miasm. The miasm is responsible for a deficiency in the body. So hypoimmunity. Immunities are naturally low in these types of people. And because there is this low immunity, people are continuously open to physical and emotional irritations, which normally don't affect others. So when you are irritated constantly, both physical and emotional, the cell's controlling factors power is lost. The cell loses its natural power of controlling its action. And then this leads to a type of cancer. These types of cancer who come with the soric miasm, we find generally are very slow growing and mostly benign. These come out often when you suppress skin diseases. You have skin diseases which are suppressed, and this lead to benign cancers, often slow growing benign cancers. The second is the psychosis, the psychotic miasm. This miasm sort of stimulates hypertrophy and overgrowth. So there is overgrowth of the cell. The cell grows larger than it should. And this results in rapidly growing tumors. And these are also malignant. So rapidly growing and malignant tumors. The earlier one was slow growing benign tumors. And in the psychotic miasm, we find these are often very surface level tumors, and there is a gouty diathesis, that is, there is a lot of uric acid, a high amount of uric acid in the system. Then there is a syphilitic miasm. The syphilitic miasm, in addition to the psychosis, where there is overgrowth, the syphilitic miasm brings an element of destruction. Cells get destroyed one after the other, and there is a breakdown and degeneration of the whole system. And this leads to ulcerative cancers, where there is the pus formation, there is the ulcer. These can affect very harder tissues and even the nervous system, and the cancer spreads very fast. But it is very localized, spreads in a localized manner. The tubercular miasm adds an aggressive component, and this leads to migration. It moves across tissue types and can, from one organ to the other, it goes across the connective tissues. And it's very interesting how you understand homeopathy. The tubercular miasm leads to migration of the cancer across the body. But if you see the nature of tuberculosis historically, tuberculosis started in an era when there was mass migration of people, and tuberculosis appeared in the world when there were migrations of populations. And so populations were migrating, and tuberculosis itself has a quality in it which adds to migration within the body. So these are the signs and symptoms, the clues that homeopaths catch on to be able to give the correct remedy. I think Tehseen will speak to us in the afternoon about some of the mental and emotional conditions of the homeopathic patient. But what we find is the cancer patient is instinctively reacting to the high disorder and the breakdown of cells within the body. You will find the patient is very orderly, trying to be perfectionist, stretching himself, trying to maintain order in life even when everything is breaking down. And that is because your conscious, the subconscious and unconscious has picked up on your cells going into a major destructive force. There is no order. Everything is out in a mess. And you don't know that. How does a patient know that your cells are in a degenerative state and is out of order? But you are reacting into by creating order in your world, being very particular, ensuring that everyone else is neat and tidy and all that. So the body itself is giving you these signs. Let me quickly jump on to curability. What are the chances? When a patient comes to you, they ask you, what is the chance of curability? How can I be cured? And curability is not connected to the size of the cancer or the stage of the cancer. Often you say it's very big, you can't save. Or it's gone to an extreme stage, can't save. Yeah, it's terminal. No, in homeopathy we don't accept that. Curability is the capacity of being healed. Does your body, does your spirit have the capacity to be healed? And if that capacity can be found, then we can help the vital force to regain and create the secondary level of treating the cancer itself. So the signs and symptoms we have of curability are, is the patient reacting? Are there reactions to be seen? If there is someone who's really sick and is not showing signs and symptoms, then we know it's a very difficult case. As long as you show signs and symptoms, I have a fever, burning, doctor, it's burning, I can't sleep, then you know the body is reacting. And when the body is reacting, it gives you a sign and a symptom and helps you to prescribe the correct thing. So signs and symptoms are very important. And this is which gives us a sense of how the rate of curability. And if this is a vital reaction of the body is reacting in a vital way, then we know that you can cure it and you can work with that vitality. So briefly, what can homeopathy actually do? It sort of offers a holistic approach. It gives you a range of remedies which are highly diluted and therefore don't bring the toxicity of the allopathic medicines and radiations. And because it is highly diluted, there are absolutely no side effects. Now,